Good morning and welcome to the new episode of Dr. Lamba's Awakening. Today is International Women's Day and we are celebrating that. But then, what is there to celebrate? Women have been the role models since times immemorial. And as a matter of fact, the very fact that our hoary old epics have been talking about them shows how useful and powerful role the women had during those times. So, what is there to talk about women not being worshipped? As a matter of fact, in the Vedic times, women enjoyed equal status and had equal opportunities to acquire knowledge. And that's why the hymns of Rig Veda, authored by Brahmavadanis, women scholars, that's the word used, like Maitri, Gargi, Lopamudra, and Ghosha. Of course, the post-Vedic period saw a decline in the status of women, who came to be viewed as possessions rather than as individuals with rights and their own identities. Now, as far as the celebration of International Women's Day is there, my thoughts go back to the hoary past. I recollect that in our childhood, we were told stories of Sita, the first single mother in the world, ever suffering. Draupadi, the one with the unstinted faith. Ahilya, the epitome of fortitude. Mandodari, Raman's devoted, capable wife. Kakeyi, who missed the love of her spouse. Kaushalya, the fortunate mother of Rama. Sumitra, the obedient junior. Srupnakha, the real human loving creature. Kunti, the one who conceived through mantras. And Savitri, who won over Jam. And so on. But how come there has been discrimination? And we were not told the stories of Jabala, Maitri, Shandili. I'm mentioning a few because of the limited time at our disposal. We missed on some vital lessons, and today I'm going to talk about those lessons which Jabala, Maitri, Shandili gave us. And that is a real celebration because that shows that nature wanted women to be in the forefront. And are you aware, I wrote an article today, that in the animal world, mostly, barring a few exceptions, women are the leaders. We're female species, I mean. And then nature itself, we call it mother nature, we don't call it father nature. So nature itself wanted women to be in the forefront. So celebration is a part of natural order. Now, talking of Jabala, she had a son called Satyaka. Sorry. He was a very inquisitive young man. He went to a teacher and asked to be taught. The teacher said it was necessary to know if he was capable enough to be his student. So he asked him his lineage, because at that time only people belonging to the higher caste could be taught. Satyakam went to his mother and asked who his father was. And Jabala told him, go back to your teacher. Tell him that you are Jabala's son. So mother's name which we are using today was first used to identify a person son of not of a male but son of a female. And she said that should suffice. She was unashamed. She was unapologetic. She had many parameters, of course, but she stood tall. How many mothers have the confidence to tell their children to be known by their name? Even today, most of the people write, son or daughter of so and so is a male, the father. Though now the mother's name has been sanctioned in many places. But Jabala was the first woman to use the maternal name to identify the child. Isn't that revolutionary? If Sita was the first single mother, she was the first mother to assure that the lineage should be from the mom, not from the father, because maternity is a fact. Paternity at best is a conjecture. Now come to Maitri. Maitri yearned earnestly to learn philosophy from Yajlaika. Now, how to do it? So she married him because she thought that being wife, it would be easier to establish the student-teacher relationship. And Yajnabalka one day called all his wives and declared that he would now renounce the word. So he wanted to divide the property between them. When he said to first his wife, Katki, she took the share. Then he asked, after Katyani, he asked Matri, how much you want. Her response was, will your riches and the wealth give me what you are going to seek? Now, what he was going to seek? Salvation, union with the Almighty, the Supreme Being. When he said, no, when I go to the forest, I'll be getting salvation. I'll be the person who will be able to meet God and identify Him. You can't. I can transfer my wealth to you, but not the union. She said, okay, she didn't want the wealth. But she would also renounce the world to seek the enlightenment. Now, Jajralka said, no, that's not possible. You can't do it. Women don't become ascetics. And being your husband, it's my responsibility to see that you don't go. And now look at her reply. She said, when you renounced me, telling us that take your wealth, and you are going to the husband, you have lost all rights on me. So how can you decide my actions now? And she went ahead to seek God. And she was the first philosopher of India. She had married him to learn. She kept the spirit right through. How many wives know that partnership in marriage is equal? If one is a teacher, the other is taught. Now look, here till now the husbands used to say, you are banished, I'm leaving, do this. First women to say, no, I'm your equal. If you can go and search God, so can I. And you have no right to tell me once you renounce it. The first feminist, I'll call. Then another, Shandili. She was a sage. She practiced severe austerities. And the austerities and the prayers marked her all world, and she got married. Then one day, sage Galva and Garuda is Vishnu's mount. They were traveling together on a mission, and they stopped near our ashram for the day. Night had fallen, and Shandili welcomed them with hospitality. Next morning, when they woke up to continue their onward journey, Garuda found to his despair that his wings had been cut from his body. Those massive, powerful wings lay dead by his side, and he was reduced to an immobile, powerless lump of flesh. Sage Galva looked at him with concern. He was worried. And then he said, Sage, Garuda, did you nurse any bad thoughts about this ashram? Garuda replied, oh no. And then said, I just thought that this place should be in heaven with a god, with Shiv, Vishnu and Brahma. The Trinity of God is the fit place for Shandili. Now Garuda thought that his thought had accorded her the highest praise. But when Garuda fell at Shandili's feet and apologized, she said, now here is it, the self-respect. I don't need to associate with the gods, with anyone, with God or man for my greatness. I am I. Look at that. What Descartes said later on, she said it 5,000 years back. I am I derived from myself. All that I have achieved is due to my own strength, not because of the blessings of anybody. It's my conduct, it's my austerity, it's my strength. Do not insult me by saying that I belong elsewhere. I belong where I am. Do not degrade any women similarly. So women are not to be degraded. They are inherently strong, and their strength is what we celebrate on the International Women's Day. How many of us know the infinite potential of the women's strength? Hardly any. And yet we say we celebrate this festival, this day, as a day of dedication to the gender equality and empowerment. The philosophers, the sages, the poets of the youth, of the past, they have, and I'm talking the women one, their contribution shows that women are empowered right from the beginning. But the male chauvinistic pigs, some or the other, by using their physical power over vast majority, try to subjugate them. But the strength inherent in them, intrinsic to them, could never be denied. And what Jabala Shandili Maitri did is an eye-opener that the celebration for one day doesn't hold much meaning. Yes, if we can inculcate the capabilities that our women of the year had in the younger generations today, that would be the real celebration of women empowerment and strength. Thank you.